Hello students, once again welcome to the online teaching classes by Mrs. Vishwa H. Desai from St. Xavier's, Surat. Students, in the last three videos, we have discussed Unit 2 of the textbook Flamingo. The title of the unit is Lost Spring, Stories of Stolen Childhood by Anis Jung. So students, let's quickly revise some of the important points of last three videos. The last three videos, we have started the discussion of the story one of the unit. The title of the story one is Sometimes I Find a Rupee in the Garbage. What we have discussed in this story? In the beginning of the story, there is the author's encounter with Sahib. Now, who is this Sahib? Sahib is a 10-year boy who was a rag picker, right? He was belonging to a refuge family from Bangladesh, right? Students, we have discussed the point that basically Sahib was a 10-year boy who was a rag picker and he was from Dhaka, right? Many storms swept away their houses in Dhaka. So they left Dhaka now and they settled in the big city for the better living. In the beginning of the story, right, we have also discussed the point that the writer questioned Sahib about his vocation that is the occupation of rag picking, and she advised him to go to school. She also promised Sahib to open a school. But later on, we also discussed the point that the writer, she felt embarrassed at making a hollow, that is a false promise to Sahib, right? Because the writer is not going to open any school for Sahib, right? And every day, Sahib is forced to go for the work of the rag picking, right? Then there is the point, we also discussed the point that there is the irony in the name of Sahib and in the complete existence of Sahib. We have discussed the point that the full name of Sahib is Sahib Alam. That means Lord of the Universe, right? This is bit ironical, right? Because Sahib was living a life of complete poverty. He was doing the work of rag picking, right? And his name means that he is the Lord of the universe, right? But this is the irony that he was living a complete opposite life to his name. He was deprived of even the basic necessities of life. Every day, what he was doing, every day in the morning, he roams with other rag picker boys. Why? To find something from the garbage dumps. We also discussed the point that the writer, she has given the example of the barefooted boys, right? Why she has given the example of barefooted boys? She wants to give the emphasis on the extreme poverty of these rag picker boys. We have also discussed the example of a man from Udupi. Udupi, that is the town in Karnataka, right? When that man was a young boy, right? Who was he? He was the son of a temple priest, right? And he was living in the town of Udupi 30 years ago, right? And every day, what he was doing, right? While going to school, what he was doing, he was longing or he was making a prayer to God to get a pair of shoes, right? This was the point that the writer has given before the 30 years. After 30 years, the writer herself, she visited the same town of Udupi. And what she observed? She observed that 30 years later, a boy of same age was seen in full school dress with shoes. So now what is the progress? Previously, 30 years before, the temple priest boy, right? He was deprived of even a pair of shoes. And after the 30 years, a new temple priest's son, he was having a school dress, school uniform, school bag, socks, and a pair of shoes, right? But with this example, the writer, she also uh, talks that there are some rag pickers who are even at the present moment, they are without a pair of shoes, right? Then the writer also discussed about the land of Simapuri. And what is the Simapuri? Simapuri is the land on which the Sahib and other rag picker boys and their family, they are living. Now they are living in a complete hell, right? They are living in the dwelling structures of mud, tin and tarpaulin with no sewage, drainage or running facility, right? So the Sahib and other rag picker boys and their families, they are living in the complete unhygienic condition. But the only boon for them, right, was that they had the valid ration card so that they can get the food, right? Then, but these people, they are happy to live in a strange land, right? Here, the strange land is the land of Simapuri, which provides a food and grain to them. So they are happy to live at Simapuri because it provides them the food and grain than living in their motherland that is Bangladesh, that is Dhaka, without grain. So they consider it better to live in the strange land which provides them the food rather to live in their motherland without having any food. Now, we also discussed the point, this is the important one, that rag picking for elders in Simapuri, right? It is their daily bread and means of survival. And for children, it is a treasure of wonderful things, right? So for the elders, right, the work of rag picking is their daily bread. What they are doing, the elders, every day they are searching something in the garbage dumps, right? They sell the things and they uh, get their livelihood, right? So for the elders, rag picking is the means of their daily bread and it is the means of survival. Because of that, they can provide food and shelter to their children as well. But for the children, it is a treasure of wonderful things, right? We discussed the point that every day Sahib and other rag picker boys, what they are doing, they are searching for gold in the garbage dumps, right? Why? Because there was the point in the story that sometimes Sahib, he found a 1 rupee coin, then a 10 rupee note, and even sometimes he found the silver coin as well. So for the children, the garbage dumps, right, it is a treasure of wonderful things, right? So up to this point, we have discussed in all the three videos. Now let's move ahead. One winter morning, I see Sahib standing by the fenced gate of the neighborhood club, watching two young men dressed in white playing tennis. Right? So, one winter morning, right, the writer saw Sahib standing by the fence of a club. Right? What he was doing? He was watching a tennis game being played by the two young men. Right? I like the game, he hums, content that is satisfied to watch it standing behind the fence. I go inside when no one is around, he admits. The gatekeeper lets me use the swing, right? So Sahib liked the game of tennis, right? But he could not play it. He told the writer that he went inside the club when it would be closed. And he was also allowed to take swings by the guard there, right, once the club is closed, right? So here we can clearly see that as Sahib, he was the poor boy, as he was the rag picker, right? He was not allowed to enter into the club, right? So clearly here we can see the discrimination between the rich and the poor, right? If you are a rich person, you can be the club member, right? You can enjoy the club games. But if you are a poor person, then you are deprived of the club membership as well as you are deprived of the club games as well, right? So though Sahib, he liked the game of tennis, but he was denied to play that game into the club. Sahib too is wearing tennis shoes that look strange over his discolored shirt and shorts, right? So the writer, she saw that Sahib was also wearing the tennis shoes. but they did not look appropriate with his dress, which was worn out and had faded. Someone gave them to me, he says, in the manner of an exclamation. The fact that they are discarded, that means thrown away, shoes of some rich boy who perhaps refused to wear them because of a hole in one of them does not bother, that is, worry him, right? So Sahib told to the writer that someone gave him the shoes, right? But the writer, however, he could figure out the fact that, right, he could get this pair of shoes from a garbage dump, and we can presume that they must have been thrown away by a boy from a rich family, as he did not want to wear them anymore, right? Probably the reason behind it is that they had a hole or two in them, and due to which, right, the boy from a rich family, he did not want to wear them. But it does not bother Sahib, right? So, on the contrary, we can say that Sahib was not bothered by this fact that there was a hole or two in that pair of shoes, right? He had no problem wearing them, as he could not afford to buy anything better than that. For one who has walked barefoot, even shoes with a hole is a dream come true. But the game he is watching so intently, it is out of his reach. Right? So, as we have discussed the point that he was a rag picker and he was from a complete poor family, right? So, normally he walked barefoot. Okay, so and he walked barefoot, and to wear a shoe even with a hole, right, was like a dream from for Sahib. And although due to the garbage dump, right, Sahib's dream of wearing the shoes had been partially fulfilled, right, but his desire to play the game of tennis, right, would never be fulfilled. And this is one of the important incident in the story, right? This morning, Sahib is on his way to the milk booth. In his hand is a steel canister, that is container. I now work in a tea stall down the road, he says, pointing in the distance. I am paid 800 rupees and all my meals, right? So one morning, the writer met Sahib, right, who was on his way to the milk booth. He was holding a steel canister, that is steel container. Sahib also told a writer that he had got a job at the nearby tea stall, right? And he would earn 800 rupees a month, and he would also get the meals. Then, does he like the job? I ask. His face, I see, has lost the carefree look, right? So, but the writer, she asked him if he liked the job, as she observed on his face that Sahib, he had lost the carefree look. The steel canister seems heavier than the plastic bag he would carry so lightly over his shoulder, right? So, obviously, the writer, she could observe the thing that, right, Sahib was not happy doing this work, right? Uh, as now, Sahib was working for someone else, right? And he was carrying, right, his master's container, right? That means he was burdened with the responsibility. The bag was his. The canister belongs to the man who owns the tea shop. Sahib is no longer his own master. Right? Earlier, what we have seen that as a rag picker, right, he would carry his own plastic bag, right? And he was his own master. But now he was no longer his own master, right? This is the important line, and it can be asked in the examination that explain this line. Sahib is no longer his own master, right? So Sahib was happy as a rag picker. He was happy to do the work of rag picker. Why? Because at that time, he was his own master. He could do anything according to his own wish, right? But after he had started working at the tea stall, right, he had lost his carefree look. Why? Because he was carrying the responsibility of his master. right? And and we can say that he had lost the carefree look, and now no longer uh, he is uh, not his own master, right? So students, we have this is the end of the first story of the unit 2. uh, Basically what we have seen in this story, we have seen this is the story of a rag picker boy, Sahib, right? So with the story of Sahib here, Anish Jung, she wants to highlight the poor condition of the rag pickers, right? She wants to show us, right, that the children or the boy like Sahib, right, they are forced to do the child labor because of their socio-economic condition, right? And because of their socio-economic condition, because of their poverty, right, the Sahib like children, they are deprived of education, they are deprived of joy and happiness of childhood, right? So basically the theme of the first story is child labor, right? And uh, the condition of the rag pickers, or the condition of the poor children, right? And because of that they are deprived of education, joy, happiness of their childhood, right? Students, you must have observed that with every video, right, there is also the home learning material that is uploaded. So I kindly request you to go through the home learning material, because it will be of a great help to you. And at the end of each home learning material, right, what you will find the important questions, right? So you are supposed to make a English notebook, right? And you are supposed to write the answers of the questions which are there, right, at the end of uh, each home learning material. So here I have completed the discussion of the first story of unit 2. And students, it is my humble request that kindly go through the questions of the home learning material of video 4, because, right, I have given the important question that can be asked in the board, right, from the story of Sahibe Alam. Later on in the next video, now we will discuss the second story of the unit.